Yo, what up, Grizz Nation? And welcome to the Daily Grind. Thank you for waking up with us. I am filling in for Mark King. I'm your host, Daniel Greer, and we have our favorite redhead with us. He's Luke
Oh,
Hatmaker. What's up, man?
you like me more than Kevin Herter?
Yeah, definitely.
Thank you. I like me more than him too. He seems like a punk ass sometimes, but thank you.
Dude, we're opening up, in the morning
Sorry.
with some vulgar language.
Sorry.
These people are rolling out of the bed, Luke.
I'm sorry. You're right. He looks like a dork.
Dork.
There
What
we
a
go.
dork. All right, today's show is all going to be about the rundown. As you can see over, let me get my hand in the, over here. We have the Jazz game tonight, which I don't know if you know this, Luke. The Grizzlies are favored.
Why?
By 4.5 points. I'm going to tell you why, Luke. I'm going to tell you why. And then we're going to get to our second segment, which is the Stats Monster. I've not been on here and done the Stats Monster. So I'm excited about doing that. I'm going to surprise you with mine, and don't cancel me, just so we're all aware. Okay. And then the third segment, we're going to give you a little bit of what is to come. How bleak is the road ahead before Ja gets back? We're going to give you a little bit on what their shot is at getting a win on the road. But you know how we do it. Let's go ahead and get going. Luke, the preview tonight, I've already told you that the Grizzlies are favored. So you tell me, well, how excited are you for tonight? Because Vegas says we're going to win.
Well, they're down some dudes, right? Like Lowry's not playing. Clarkson isn't playing.
So Lauri Markkanen is out officially. He's the only person that is out.
Okay.
Jordan Clarkson has a thigh contusion. He actually played last game. And then Kelly Olynyk is questionable as well with a shoulder strain. And so those are the only ones that are on the report. Mm-hmm. They do have some G League guys that they have ruled out, but that was yesterday. I believe, I don't know what their G League schedule looks like. They are on the road. So if you're already ruling them out, then more than likely you're saying like, hey, they didn't travel with us.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's it.
Okay. Well, yeah, man. I mean, because Lowry, I'm trying to find the box score from the last game. He torched us last time we played, right?
He always torches us.
I mean, he always torches us. Like he pushes Jaren around for some reason. Jaren lets himself get pushed around by him.
I got a stat. I don't know if you heard it on Grizz 101 podcast. The live post-game show tonight, we got Nate on the show, but also special guest, Lauren Gunn. If you don't know Lauren Gunn, she will be your favorite. She's definitely mine. But the Grizzlies in the last matchups, the last two matchups, right? So they've already played twice. How many three-pointers do you think that the Jazz have taken?
85.
80.
Damn it.
How many do you think they've hit?
70.
I didn't say what it feels like. I said how many did they hit?
Oh, my bad. Let's say 62.
Dude, you know how big of a number that is? 62 for 80? Come on.
Okay, let's say 50.
40 of 80. That's still 50% from three.
Oh, yeah. Well, I guess when you say it like that, math makes sense when you break it down like that.
Math is tough. Listen, if you want to use your fingers, I do. But 50%,
90.
like it's crazy how well they've shot against the Grizzlies. That's the biggest thing is the three-point line. That's really what it comes down for me is looking at that three-point line. If the Grizzlies can contest, they can win. We'll see.
Well, they'll definitely take a bunch of shots. Like, dude, we're fourth in the league in 3-point attempts. But we're last. We're last in making them. Like, I don't know.
We're not last in making them. We're like 15.
In 3-point percentage?
I mean, having me made, I'm almost certain. Yeah, I could be wrong. So last game, Markkanen went 4 of 9 from deep. OJ Abaji, he went 3 of 5. Fontecchio, maybe that's his name. Simone, he will be probably starting tonight, just so everybody's on the same page. He probably will start. That is a play I love. 3+ 3-pointers. Yeah, even money. John Collins even went 3 of 3 last game. Like that's like if you look at those numbers, that's really where it gets you is like all of that. Like, and honestly, I don't know if you know this, but they're 1-7 in away games this year. I'm not gonna like tell you who in the world they might have beat, but they might have beat.
I was like, wait a minute. I remember one of those games.
Yeah, so Jordan Clarkson the first game went 4 of 6 from deep. Laurie went another 4 of 6. John Collins 2 of 5. So if you like 3-pointers from John Collins, he likes them against the Grizzlies as well. Abaji went Collins Sexton 4 of 6. Like crazy numbers, crazy. So
do you think? So do you just think they miss? You just think they miss a couple less? I mean, because we're not defending. I mean, do we have who else is out tonight? I feel like more dudes are out.
No, it's the same lineup we've had for the last
lineup.
2 games.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's everybody that was out is out. Everybody that was playing is playing.
Cool. Thank God for some consistency there at least.
So let's talk about that a little bit because I think that's important. So last game, Conchard did not. He got a DNP coach's decision, right?
Yeah.
They went with more of, I guess, Roddy. Who else did they go with more?
They played Vince.
It wasn't Zaire. Right? It was more Vince, but Vince only played 10 minutes.
Jalen no.
Yeah, but he only played in the second half. And that's what I'm curious about is how they go. Like they went 9 deep last time. Here are the 9 guys. I have it pulling up right now. And that was Jaron, Santi, Bismack, Bain, and Gilliard. Okay. Gilliard only played 16 minutes, even though he started. But then if you look at Zaire did play 18 minutes. A lot of that was when he got hot in the fourth quarter. So he got hot. He played. David Roddy played 28 minutes. D Rose played 20. And Joel Noel, who only played the second half, played 13 minutes. And then Vince Williams played 10. So I know that's actually going to be 10 guys, but he only really went with 9. If you look at those minutes, probably only 8 that he gave real minutes to, because even though Jacob Gilliard started, he played 16 minutes. That's pretty much starting the first quarter and then the third quarter. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and that's clearly showing that you're trusting Roddy and Rose, man. D Rose has been playing better lately.
Yeah. So if
he's
you had
still shooting the ball 50% from 3, like that's awesome.
Yeah. He played his 20 and Roddy played 28. So if you're saying like, hey, let's go with the 4 guys like Bain, Bismack, Santi, and Jaron, and then you add in Roddy and Rose, that's a good 6 that you feel comfortable with, right?
Yeah.
Who else do you think he goes with? Because he's going to go up to 9.
I think he'll go with Z. I think Z could get hot again. I don't think it'll be consistent, but if he gets hot in the fourth quarter, let him. You know, like I think that I would like to see Vince Williams, but I know that he's not been given us much of an offensive boost. So I could see him going with Jalen over Vince just to get some offensive production off the bench.
Yeah, I'm curious what they do. And I'll get into a little bit more of the Jazz lineup. We're not going to spend too much longer on this, but I think he would go with Jalen Noel just because he's on a 10-day. So he looked good last game.
He did look good, man. He looked real good.
But what do you do if you, for some reason, do like him? Like, that's the whole other argument. Like, they have to then say, hey, we're going to let him walk after his 10 days and let somebody else pick him up. Because, if he plays well for the Grizzlies, somebody's going to pick him up somewhere. Okay?
Yes.
NBA players, if you're good, you're going to get picked up.
Yes.
But what do you do? Like, do you make a random trade for a second-round pick? I don't know. Like, do you send out Jacob Gilliard back to the G League and just maybe cut him and send him back to the G League? And then hopefully you can pick him up on a straight G League contract? That's a possibility.
Do they have to cut him since he's on a 2-way? Couldn't they just keep him on the 2-way?
You have to. Yeah. So we have 15 on the roster currently. And that, like, we're filled up to the brim. And the only reason we have these other 2 guys is because of the 10-day. Maybe so we can go ahead and sign him to another 10-day. Like, so that's an opportunity. It's just, do you sign him to another 10-day and keep doing this and pushing the ball down the road when
do they cut Kenny Lofton Jr.? Waive him?
I don't know, because I think he's good enough to be on a contract. The only problem is, like, should he be a 2-way? Yeah. Like, because honestly, Ja's coming back. Everybody's marking down the games. He's 9 games away, right?
Mm-hmm.
Guess what? Bismack Biyombo is the reason that like he's playing in Ja's spot. So they have to make another decision for that. This is totally getting off the rails.
Yeah.
But there's a lot to be worked out. Like we're playing with guys that aren't even actually on the roster realistically. Like Bismack is, but he's like just honestly a fill-in right now for $1 million.
Yeah.
It goes up to $5 million if you keep him. So I don't know. Let me get into a little bit of the Jazz real quick. I'm going to ask you your opinion on this. So Walker Kessler, who obviously we love and dominates the Grizzlies usually, he's been playing off the bench the last 2 games. He was out for 2 weeks on an elbow strain is the reason. But listen to this lineup off of the bench that is consistent. I expect it to stay consistent for the Jazz. Colin Sexton, Kelly Olynyk, Taylor Horton-Tucker, Walker Kessler, and Ochai Agbaji. That is their bench unit. Do you like it or dislike it?
Well, I don't like it because I feel like that unit always kills us every dang time. You know, I feel like I'm conditioned just to not like that lineup, but I feel like it shouldn't be that good.
Well, unfortunately, it murders us, and
It murders us.
It's not about the starting lineup. You know, I think they're going to be fine. I think it's these vets. You're talking about Kelly Olynyk, Colin Sexton, who I wouldn't say is a vet, but he's obviously showed that he is a bulldog.
Yes.
Taylor Horton-Tucker, which is a vet. And then you have Walker Kessler, who should not be a bench guy, and he is just because they're working him up, probably his minutes restrictions. And then Ochai Agbaji, who can actually shoot really well. So that's a very good team.
It's a mean team, dude. That bench unit's mean. And
they are mean.
It's just mean. We don't have any mean guys on our bench. You know, we got D-Rose.
Yeah, we got D-Rose.
That's it.
So how you feeling about the game tonight? Let's go ahead and put a bow on this, and we'll get to our second segment.
I'm feeling good about it.
Okay.
I for multiple reasons. You know, I think that with Lowry being out, I think it's important to win this game. And we'll talk more about this later. I think this one's important looking forward into the next 9.
Yeah,
I think this one is a big one to win.
Yeah. I think it's a must win for the simple fact of you got to find wins, and this is going to be your best opportunity. And we'll get into that in the third segment. Second segment is the Stats Monster. We'll be back here in 2 minutes. Stay tuned.
I am highly upset, man.
Oh, man.
ESPN, you dastardly dogs you. Last week had us feeling good. They picked the Grizzlies to be first in the West with about 48.5 wins. And what a difference a few days makes.
What a difference.
You put out your list of the top 100 players in the NBA. Desmond Bain jumps in at 61. Jaren Jackson Jr. comes in at number 31. Jaren's top 25 to me, but if you all right, whatever. I think that's a little slight to Jaren. Desmond Baines is disgusting, in my opinion. But then we get Ja Morant, All-NBA player, 2-time All-Star, one of the most dynamic offensively players in the NBA, Ja Morant. That guy was number 35 on their list, Kenny Stubblefield. The same people that said the Grizzlies will be the first team in the West. They're going to get that done with just some regular dudes.
Tune in to the Anthony Sane Show Wednesdays and Fridays at 12 p.m. weekly on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
Just curious, you kind of talked about the transfers and things like that. How has that changed your mindset from a roster management standpoint? Like, incredible recruiter. All the classes, I think we had 2 back-to-back and 21 and 22 top classes. How does that change with the transfer portal? Do you start focusing more on upperclassmen? Do you kind of get away from the younger freshmen? How does that work?
Yeah, so I still believe in our coaching staff and the way we do things and developing guys. And that I will never get away from that philosophy. We're still going to recruit a high school class. Now, there's a lot of colleges out there that say, screw this. We're pushing all the chips in on this roster, win right now, and we'll figure it out. Sure. And if it doesn't, right, it implodes and bad things happen. But I think you still have to bring in true freshmen and develop them and see what they can become. And that I'll never waver from that. But the portal certainly changed things.
Tune in to Tigers Untapped with TJ Willis and Trey Lasley every Wednesday at 3 p.m. on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
Yo, welcome back to the Daily Grind, your number one and favorite morning show for the Grizzlies. All right, let's get into the Stats Monster. Luke, who's your stats monster for to game tonight?
Jaren.
Wow.
Because no,
Why?
no, I'm walking it back. David Roddy.
All right, but why
Just
Roddy?
to be contrarian. No, I think Roddy has been pretty good this season.
Okay.
All things considered. Like I just, it's not. There's a reason he's been able to play him over 20 minutes every single game, and it's because he doesn't suck, and he's also we know that he's capable of making 3 or 4 threes in a game, and last time we played, I think it was the last time we played the Jazz, Kennard went off for like 4 or 5 threes. I think that if one of the bench guys is going to go off, and I think that if it's between Roddy and D Rose, I'm going to give it to Roddy.
Okay. Well, looking at the last 8 games, he's played roughly 20-ish minutes, and he's played decent. He's hitting more threes as of late. The last 2 games, he's actually went 2 of 4 and 2 of 5, double digits in both games. And so he's played well. Leading up to that, he was not playing so well, and that was the difference. But as of late, you can kind of count on the 4 rebounds. That's kind of what he's been consistent with. And so 10 points, 4 rebounds, knocking down 2 triples, playing decent man-to-man defense, playing absolutely atrocious help defense.
Oh, yeah.
You can count on all that.
The worst.
Him and Bismack Biyombo look like they're rerouting most of the time. Like, you remember Garmin? Rerouting.
Yeah.
Rerouting.
They should just tie them together with like a string. That way when they go out there, they're just like, boom.
So that's old school basketball. I don't know if you know that or not. Okay, but that's what they used to do back in the day, is tie you to a string.
Awesome.
That's where they got the whole, play on a string defense, whatever. It's stupid, but it worked. It worked. All right, so my stats monster, and I told you, controversial, Keontae George for the Jazz. I know this is not supposed to be a Jazz show. I'm just going to tell you, if you're a part of the Discord with Bluff City Bets, we are all over Keontae George tonight. I think he goes off. Absolutely torches the Grizzlies. I'm not saying that leads to them winning. I'm just saying I think that he has a 20-plus game, 20-plus point game. I wouldn't doubt if he even goes for 10 assists, knocks down 3 or 4 triples. I'm telling you, the dude is going to be playing crazy good tonight. Crazy good.
Why?
Well, we give up a lot of assists, right? But also he's pretty quick on the dribble. And so who's going to stay in front of him? It's not Jacob Gilliard. It's not really anybody that's starting. You might be able to say, hey, maybe D Rose, maybe Vince, you put a little size on him, maybe, possibly. I still think he gets around anybody on our team. And at that point, if he's not shooting from deep, I think he dishes out to a wide open Simone Fontecchio. I don't know if that's his name for 3, or John Collins in the short corner. But I just think that's what's going to happen. And I think that he will be the best player tonight for the Jazz, if I had to put my finger on it.
He didn't shoot the ball really well the last 2 times from 3 against us, I don't think. I think he only made 1 3 in each of the games.
So leading up to that point, he wasn't getting real minutes at all. The first game he had a DNP. And the second game, he actually played okay minutes, but that was the start of his climb into getting real minutes for that team, and to where then now he's getting real minutes. He's actually been starting the last few games, I believe. And so,
I think you're right.
So that's who I would look out for. I'm going to look at his stat line real quick, but I'm saying Keontae George is going to unleash. I know this is going to make Nathan happy because he loves Keontae George, but it's also going to make him sad as we get torched. But I do think that the Grizzlies still figure out a way to win. I just think that he will be your dude that fills up the stats. Like his 10 plus assists is plus 850 on FanDuel. If you're interested, I played it. So
plus 850.
Plus 850. His line is over 5.5 assists. So they expect him to get 6. It's got decent odds. 6 assists, 6 to 10, 4 more assists. I'm okay with that.
Well, if Clarkson is out too, then hell yeah, hammer that one home, I feel like.
Yeah, but he's been getting close to 30 minutes the last 6, 7, 8, 9 games. And the last 3 games, he went 3 of 6 from deep, 4 of 9 from deep, 3 of 8 from deep. He's had 2-11 assists.
Man, he's gotten better.
He's had a 7, 2 7s, and a 6. I just think the guy is prime for a team that doesn't play phenomenal defense, lets teams shoot from beyond the arc really easily, and can give up a lot of assists. So, if I had to give a Grizzlies, I think it's going to be a Bane game. I think it has to be. Bane has to. But I'm not going to go too deep in Bane. That's enough for the stats monster. I'm just saying, in general, I think it's going to be Kande George. And you like David Roddy. So shout out to the Roddy.
Yeah.
All right. Let's go ahead and get into our third segment. We'll look at the schedule that's upcoming. I do have that in front of me, so I think it'll be very important to kind of look at that. And so we'll get to that right now as soon as I find the commercial. 2 minutes. We'll be back.
Seth Hennigan just still. He
doesn't look himself.
He just doesn't, in the big moments, he's not making the plays that have to be made. If you look at the raw stats, they're not terrible, but the 2 interceptions.
Yeah.
And he fumbled twice. They didn't lose those fumbles, but 2 fumbles and 2 interceptions, one of them coming at a terrible time on a 4th down late in the game when Memphis really needed to put points on the board. But I just don't think Seth is playing well enough to elevate this team.
Right.
I think he's playing well enough for Memphis to be fine, but as far as for them to do something special and to elevate this team, he's just not playing like that.
Tune in to On the Bluff with Christian Fowler and Gabe Kuhn every Tuesday at 12 p.m. on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
Kenny, there are certain guys in the NBA that are enigmatic players. They're going to be appealing to a large fan base. But when you have guys like that who, like John Morant, who have off-court issues he's had, Kyrie Irving has had the things he's had, the NBA doesn't particularly like the fact that those guys are larger than life. If I'm the NBA, if I'm ESPN, who of course are working together on all this stuff, I'm going to start telling you who you need to like. And it's going to be a different type of guy to kind of play off of the guys that are going to be there anyway. Let me put these squeaky clean image guys that we want to put in front of you up there as well to kind of counteract some of the stuff we get with the guys that we don't have any control out of. So let me put the Tyrese Halliburtons in front of you. Let me put the Shai Gilgeous-Alexanders in front of you, the Josh Giddys. Let me force these guys in front of you, not particularly on national television games, but let me just kind of create these little sub agendas with these guys to kind of make them those second tier stars that we're gonna like put out in front as well. Like, they're doing this on purpose, man. Like, if anybody can't see this, like, come on, man. Do not sit there and tell me that you really think that Tyrese Halliburton is a top 20 player in the NBA.
Tune in to The Anthony Sane Show, Wednesdays and Fridays at 12 p.m. weekly on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
Speaking of Tigers Untapped, make sure you tap in with them. They do a very good job. Speaking about all your things Tigers, make sure you get with them. And today at noon is the Anthony Sane Show. Wednesdays and Fridays at noon. He will be fired up for sure. If you missed out yesterday, we had a Spaces where he came in and me and him went at it a little bit. Him and Sean went at it a little bit. It was fun. And so the No Bluffing podcast, part of BCM, actually was doing that space. And so it was very good. And the last thing I have is the Grizz 901 post-game show. We do have Lauren Gunn with us tonight. Make sure you tune in. She's going to come with us from the very beginning. She's going to do her little spot early on. One, it's late. It's 9:30, probably a start. And so she wanted to come on early so she can get started on her bedtime routine because that's what we all do. And so she's going to come on with us early. And so Grizz 901, the live post-game show will be very good. I'm going to ask you a question because this is what I do for Nate all the time. Do you know the first NBA franchise, the first NBA team that had a website?
No. Wait, is it the Bobcats? It's the Bobcats, isn't it?
It's not the Bobcats, but it is your very own Grizzlies.
Really?
But not out of Memphis. It was Vancouver.
Vancouver.
So we had a fun segment on that show where we did I ask a trivia question, and we deemed the segment number 2. We'll have the same thing tonight, is how well do you know your Grizzlies? And I don't know if you watched or not. I don't believe you know about this. I'm going to ask you real quick. The Vancouver Grizzlies were becoming a franchise, right? All of that getting started. So you have to name your mascot. It wasn't the Grizzlies as the first proposed nickname. Who do you think, or what do you think was the nickname of the first Vancouver NBA team?
The Wolverines.
The Wolverines. Sounds great. Not it. But it was the Mounties.
Oh, God. Like Dudley
we
Do Right?
We could have been the Memphis Mounties, man. Come on.
That sounds dope. It sounds dope when you say it like that. The Memphis Mounties.
I was told, I can't remember who it was, told me the Memphis Mounties sounds like a strip club. So we're going to stay away from the Memphis Mounties. That's probably not the direction we're going to go. But good morning to you all. We are in our third segment. Let's go ahead and look at the schedule that is upcoming. Tonight, we do have the Jazz. We both expect them to win. The Grizzlies have not been an expected to win team all season, but they are favored by 4.5, 5, depending on your book. But the Grizzlies now have a stretch that doesn't look so hot. And that makes me nervous. So let's go ahead and get into the first upcoming games. Just this week, we're going to go all the way to Saturday, right? So end of the week is Saturday. So we have the Jazz tonight at 7 o'clock. Then we go on the road to go against the Mavs and then the Suns. Do you feel good about those next 2 games?
No, I do not. Neither of them.
All right, well, so I have another one for you. So next Wednesday, approximately, they say it's 7 days from now, it's the Pistons. We play.
I feel good about this one.
In Detroit. You feel good
Yeah.
about that one?
I do feel good about that one. That one's new.
All right.
They threw us that one yesterday.
All right, so the next game, I believe, is it the 8th or the 9th? Is the 8th?
The 8th. Yeah, they gave.
8th.
That's another one they added, right?
Yeah, another one they added. And so I couldn't remember if it was 8th or 9th. I don't have it on my schedule. If you see me looking this way, it's because I have my entire work schedule along with my Grizzlies schedule up there for the month, just because I have to plan both in life. But I'm looking at the Timberwolves are coming back to Memphis again without Ja, again with Anthony Edwards, unfortunately.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that one?
Also not good.
All right. So listen, all right. So we're getting very close into welcoming back Ja Morant. But if you're telling me that we picked up 2 games over the next 2 weeks, 2 wins, that puts us now at 5. I think if the Grizzlies can figure out a way to get to 6 wins, it is a very doable stretch. We'll have 4 games left as we go on to see to welcome Ja back on the 19th, which is a back-to-back on the road, just so everybody's on the same page. I didn't realize that. But then we have the Mavs on the 11th. Then we go at the Rockets, and then we come back home. So we go home, away, home, which is weird. But we go Mavs at Rockets on that Friday, the 15th. How do you feel about those 3 games?
Man, I don't feel good about the Dallas one. I just think Dallas is playing pretty good right now. I want to beat Houston so bad. I wish we could. I feel like if we're gonna get that 6 win, it'll be splitting one of those games.
Okay.
I doubt we beat them both games.
No, you're definitely not beating them both.
I hope we don't get beaten both of them. I think since we play them back to back, we stand a good chance at winning one of them.
Yeah, I'm the same way. So my thought is we played really well in the first quarter against the Rockets last game. And I expected them to actually have a little bit more momentum, because you got to think, the challenge by what came out of Marcus Smart, right, off the bench. I think you're going to see a fired up team. I think winning helps. I know that sounds stupid sometimes, but that is honestly, like, a lot of people are talking about the coach and how much he sucks, whatever. Like, people are talking about their swag and how much it's off and whatever. Like, all of that can be helped with winning. It's just like teams like Shaq and Kobe didn't like each other, but they were winning. And I think if you can figure out a way to win, you all get along. Your swag is back. You're dancing. You're feeling good.
Yeah.
You're actually feeling better. You're getting closer to when Ja gets back. And so with that being said, you're very close. You can kind of taste it a little bit. You've picked up
Mhm.
one win the past, you have a win each week. So you picked up your Wednesday win. So maybe we should do 3 Wednesdays in a row where we beat the
Yeah.
Jazz tonight. And then we go on the road to Detroit and beat them. We go on the road to Houston. We beat them. 3 wins. We only win on Wednesdays. Wednesdays are for wins.
Wednesdays are for wins. Damn right.
All right. So we're winning the next 3 Wednesdays. We're going to be 6 and 19? Yeah, 6 and
6 and
19.
19.
Sounds terrible, but much more doable than it is right now at 3 and whatever we are.
Yeah.
So
Much
I
more
feel
doable.
good. I feel good about that. And then at that point, I think the Thunder game on the 18th, I don't think you care too much about that because John's
Nope.
coming back. I
Yep.
think you might even
Rest
tell
some
that
people.
one in. Yeah, rest some people. Let's get ready. John gets back. Maybe we have an extra practice with him. I don't know. Midnight practice. Everybody rest. You only play Vince Williams and Friends, and then you play a practice at midnight when you get Ja back. 12:01, you have an official welcome back party for Ja.
Can they do that? I would do that in a heartbeat.
I think
I would
it'd be
do it in a
great.
heartbeat.
I think it'd be great. All right. Anything else you have, Luke, before we get out of here?
No, brother, I'm good. I hope we're talking about a win tomorrow. Tomorrow will be a lot more fun if we win.
Well, you know what? I hope we're talking about a win tonight.
Yeah, tonight.
Don't miss
Post game.
the Grizz 901 post game show. But I am Daniel Greer. I'm filling in for Mark. Mark will be back, obviously, at some point. I think he takes off a little bit during the week off. But Luke will be back tomorrow. I don't know if it'll be a solo dojo, but it could be solo. Is that solo dojo casa house? Is that what it's
Solo
going to be?
Solo dojo casa mi casa hausa.
Okay. Yeah, that one. All right. So Luke will be back. I don't know if I will be back yet or not, trying to help out fill in, but Luke will definitely be here, and we'll be back here bright and early for you tomorrow at 9 a.m. celebrating the dub. Y'all be good.
Woo.
See you tomorrow.